Really?
Important for us to continue and understand what motivates them. So this is you know what, I believe we have on line 2 somebody who is calling in, and this is not planned. I had no idea this was going to happen. We're just going to talk about trusting your intuition, but apparently we have somebody on line 2 that says they are a serial killer.
Uh-oh.
Because a lot of y'all, okay, let's just be honest. The growers we met today, it's the biggest gross piece I've ever seen.
Spoke on the state of politics.
It's interesting, but I'm back, baby, better than ever, and I'm here with NGTV.
Retired Detective Sergeant Darren Birch, author of Twisted But True, escorts you through a zone, the Badge Zone, where stories from those behind the badge range from the bizarre to the supernatural. Welcome to a place of strange happenings as you're about to enter the Badge Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Badge Zone, the show where we talk about stuff nobody wants to talk about. It's not just trusting your intuition. It's those sixth sense, the full moon, those things that cops, nurses, all those within the first responder world know is true. I just shared a story with Rockin' Robin, our beautiful producer, about trusting your intuition. It saved my mom's life. And I bring this up because you'd have to be living under a rock not to know that women are dying in this city.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, we have a serial killer. They say that every major city at any given moment has a serial killer. They're very rare, but in a town of over 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, you're going to get them.
Darren, that's scary.
It is. And that's why you have to trust your intuition. And I'll talk a little bit about that on this episode of The Bad Zone. We're going to talk about it in detail. But I do want to talk a little bit about these women. There's no doubt that many of them could be related, which gives us the very definition of a serial killer. But a serial killer and a sexual predator who's homicidal, it's the same animal. What is the motive for these serial killers? And again, I'll be real frank and honest. I haven't dealt with a lot of them. I never had the luxury, the benefit, good old-fashioned luck to be able to interview one, right? Every time I get involved, they're already been arrested. They've been lawyered up. Sexual predators, I've talked to so many, and they tell me that this obsession, whether it's a sexual paraphilic trait like frauderism, which is just rubbing up against a woman, like in a crowded subway, or whether it's pedophilia, which is attracted to prepubescent children, these are what's referred to as paraphilic sexual traits, or better said, deviant sexual desires. And it consumes their every waking second. That's what a sexual predator told me. It consumes his every waking second. When he goes to bed that night and lays his head on the pillow, he's thinking about whatever it is that gets him off. And I do mean literally get him off.
That's just creepy.
It is beyond creepy because we can't understand it, right?
Right.
You know, when I think of hot, I think of Halle Berry. When they think of hot, it could be literally a lamppost. There's also those who, so when we say sex for them, when we say sexual gratification for them, it isn't necessarily intercourse, okay? When you look at someone who's into frauderism, voyeurism, pedophilia, sadly, it does involve intercourse. And these people are sick. I mean, literally the definition of sick. And some of them live quiet lives of desperation and they don't act out. Because the thing about a sexual predator is that they have two components to them. One is that sexual paraphilic trait I keep talking about. It's that deviant sexual obsession, whatever it may be, right? The other component to a sexual predator, and in this case, a homicidal sexual predator, is the predisposition of hurting others. In other words, they like to hurt.
And they get off on that. That's just
literally,
so weird.
Literally get off on it. Many of them have more of a sexual gratification thinking about what they did than actually doing the act itself. It's almost like that fantasy can never, ever reach the reality. And that's maybe, I'm not a psychiatrist, I just worked that world for 30 years. That may be why they're repetitive, recidivism, because they can never achieve that ultimate fantasy, and they always relive it in their dreams and their waking world. This is a sick world. So that's why I thought it was important to kind of start off the show with this sad story about these ladies, because it's out there. There's somebody out there, or maybe it's a couple of people. We don't know, right? Again, I'm not privy to the investigation. I don't know if they have DNA linking them together. I don't know. There's something called holdback. And holdback is where a detective knows something about the case, about like this case is serial, right? We have multiple victims. There could be something that is consistent with every one of these ladies. It could be the removal of their left finger.
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling the Bad Zone. This is Beth. Who am I speaking with? And tell me your story.
Hey there. Thanks for taking my call. My name is Jeff, and I'm the man that's been taking the lives of women all around the valley.
There could be something that is consistent
New Mexico,
with every
some
one
California.
of these ladies. It could be the removal of their left finger. Who knows? But whatever it is, that's what's called an investigative signature. And that's what this fantasy is driven on. It's not the MO. MO is all about getting away with the crime, right? And that's them hiding the body, dumping the body to another location.
These guys are leaving their mark.
Yes.
In a sense.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Almost every serial killer wants to get fame. You know, very few of them want to hide, you know, and go under the covers, if you will. So it's important for us to continue and understand what motivates them. So this is trust You know what? I believe we have on line 2 somebody who is calling in, and this is not planned. I had no idea this was going to happen. We're just going to talk about trusting your intuition, but apparently we have somebody on line 2 that says they are a serial killer.
Uh-oh.
Jeff, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We may be having technical difficulties, but my understanding is Jeff is on the line. He says he is a serial killer. Again, don't know if this is true, not true. We don't know. Are you with us, Jeff?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Jeff, thank you for calling. Did I understand this right? You are a serial killer?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've killed across 3 states, like I said, New Mexico, Arizona primarily, and into California.
Well, Jeff, thank you for calling, because as I was telling my audience, it's important to understand what motivates you. And I need to understand, for my own gratification, quite frankly, because I've dealt with a lot of predators, but I've never, ever talked with a serial killer in terms of why they do what they do, when they do it, how they do it, and all those things. So if you could, tell me a few things about yourself. And again, I don't have trapping equipment. We don't have a direct line to the FBI. This is really, seriously, for me to help protect the community against people like you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does.
So tell me about you, if you can. Like, for example, how old are you?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay. And go ahead, please.
I grew up in a normal household. A little bit of abuse here and there growing up, but that's typical. You know, kids picking on other kids.
Okay, you're right. That's kind of...
But I've lived in a normal household, normal life, and I kind of feel like what I do is to, I guess, get some of that power back that I feel like I lost when I was younger, maybe.
So it's about power.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about this power that you derive from this.
You know, I'm not a good-looking guy. I'm just kind of your average Joe.
Yeah, I'm a scary guy by nature. It tends to go bad for me a lot because of that.
Okay.
Talking to girls wasn't very easy for me, so it's just one of those things where it's like, if I can get the upper hand, I feel this sense of completion. I feel this sense of a little bit of dignity and respect because of the, I guess the fear shows up in their eyes when it happens.
When you grew up, a lot of, and again, I don't know this to be true. This is kind of like, could be urban legend, but there's a belief out there that many of these serial killers, like Ted Bundy and so forth, tortured small animals, you know, kittens, puppies, that sort of thing, because they're vulnerable, almost like learning their trade. Is that true with you?
No, not really.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I love animals. You know, I've killed the occasional pest, the rodents, snakes, type things like that. But no, I never went out there and sought to butcher a cat or a dog or anything like that. No.
Okay.
No, I don't believe that to be a constant trait.
And you talk about the power that these murders, and I say murders plural, serial killer by definition is multiple victims.
Right.
How many have you killed?
12.
12 women. When did this start? How old were you? What year? That kind of thing.
First one was in my mid-late teens. I was probably 16, 17 years old.
17 years of age. And so, and how old are you now? I apologize. You told me.
I'm in my 40s.
You're in your 40s.
Mid-40s. Yeah.
Okay. So is it safe to say mid-40s, this happened before you're 20? So we're talking for last 27 years, you've been killing
correct.
women to the amount of 12 women you've killed. What was the first, tell me about that first victim so I could kind of understand, because they always talk about the first was the hardest and then it gets easier. So tell me about that first victim. What she looked like, where you met her, that kind of thing.
Just kind of bored one night driving around downtown. I saw this woman walk in, started talking to her. She got in the car with me, and we just drove around the city for a while just chatting, and I realized that I felt that that disconnect happening. And so I just kind of started talking to her about how we could hook up and what she charges, whatnot. I've never been with any prostitute before, and so
so this was a working prostitute, this first victim.
Yeah.
Okay, did she have a name when you met? Even if it's a fake name, that's. I just want to kind of feel what you were feeling at the time, if that makes sense. I want to understand it.
Yeah, I got the name. We can call her Teresa, though.
Okay. Well, okay. So you do know the name, but for the purpose of our conversation, it's Teresa. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And again, your name is Jeff for the purpose of a conversation?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me about Teresa. Tell me about what she looked like. If you can, remember the actual street that you met her on. Tell me about those things.
Street called Van Buren.
Okay.
South Phoenix area. She wasn't very attractive. She was just willing to get in the car and talk to me. She looked actually pretty sickly, like she'd been out on the streets for a long time. But then she started to, I don't want to get all psychological on you, but she started to emasculate me, call me a little boy, things like that, and started to take it real personal. And so I just stopped off in one of the parking garages in Central Phoenix and said, hey, let's just get out of the car. And she got out of the car, and what she didn't see was that I had a club in my hand. I had one of those small miniature, looks like a bat maybe. And it just took one hit to incapacitate her, and then the rage took over. I blacked out, the rage took over, and I just beat her.
Okay, so you killed her with blunt force trauma.
Correct.
And what was she wearing? Do you remember what she was wearing?
Shorty little short shorts, tank top.
Okay. Remember the color? And the reason I'm asking this is because many of the killers remember their first one vividly. Is that same with you?
Oh, yeah. Vividly.
So tell me about what she looked like, if you can. Tell me about, that dress, the color. Tell me about, was she black, white, Hispanic, kind of.
She wasn't wearing a dress. I just told you she was wearing shorty shorts and a tank top.
Yeah, and the color.
So, denim blue, black tank top, shitty makeup, lots of little bracelets, high heels.
Did you take anything?
I took a bracelet.
And why did you take the bracelet? I mean, was it for a profit or was it for a trophy?
Well, I took it because it looked like it was something that was passed down to her, maybe from her mom or her grandmother. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of something that my grandmother might have worn.
Jeff, I have a question for you, if you're okay with talking to me.
Sure.
From what it sounds like, you just wanted to have a good time talking to somebody, and then out of nowhere, she did something that made you very upset, and you reacted to it, right? It wasn't your intention to hurt her, correct? But you did. You did, right?
Yeah, not at that time, no. But as soon as my character and my feelings were questioned, then that's where it was headed.
And you talk a lot about your power. This is about power for you. Mm-hmm. Describe yourself. And again, I'm not trying to trap you or anything like that, but describe yourself. Are you like big built, strong guy? Are you thin, frail, teeny like me? What do you look like? And are you, if you will, physically powerful?
Yeah, I'm a big man.
Okay. Again, I can't get anything for, we're not going to be able to catch you because you tell me how tall you are and how heavy you are. But, how tall are you? How heavy? It helps me understand from the victim's point of view in terms.
Go ahead. I'm
please.
now well over 6 feet tall, about 300 pounds.
Gotcha. So you talked about the first one, we'll call her Teresa, and how long ago that was on Van Buren. It was 27 years ago. When you did that, did you kill immediately afterwards? Was there a long pause? Because we're talking, you said 12 over a 27-year period. So if you could kind of paint a picture in terms of how often would you kill? And did you kill all of them that you intended to kill?
Let's see. Repeat that first question again, please.
Yeah. When we talk about how long ago this occurred, the first one, Teresa, you said you were, this occurred when you're 17, you're in your mid-40s, approximately 27 years ago. You did 12 in over a 27 years, arch. Did you kill immediately afterwards? Do you kill every other year? Kind of, if you will, tell me about how you choose them. But more importantly, I want to know what drives you to do this and how often you would attack. Like, did you ever attack 2 in a single day? That kind of thing.
Not immediately afterwards. It was kind of a panic of going, okay, how am I supposed to take care of this now? What I get myself into. So I had to figure out how to dispose of the body. So I had to take care of that. And to answer your second question was no. It was a little bit of time afterwards. But I felt that I almost felt that desire to go find that power again. It was like a drug. And yes, I did kill 2 different people in one evening. But I did take time off in between everybody else.
Tell me about that. Were they all? Have they all been in the greater Phoenix area?
No, one was crossed over to the California line.
Okay. And what year was that approximately?
Oh boy, 2020.
2020, so 4 years ago, and that was 2 in one night, and you crossed over the California line. So right. Is that happenstance, or did you want to go to California for a reason? I mean, what drove you to California, literally?
It was happenstance. It was just wanting to get out of here, going to California, LA County area. I enjoy that area quite a bit, and I just had to stop off and get fuel. But the odd thing was it was stopping in not your typical California border places where you've got Yuma and you've got Blythe, but it was farther in. It was more into like El Centro. So I went the route of Southern California, San Diego area up north. So the second one was in El Centro.
And what do you recall about her? Again, was it a prostitute? Have they all been prostitutes?
All of them.
There was one that was a prostitute and became a school teacher. But that one, it ended up being ruled a suicide. Poor little angel. But I know you didn't like her.
Why do you think that? Is that, again, the demasculation that you think maybe prostitutes do? I mean, why target prostitutes? Or it was just opportunistic and they're vulnerable?
They're meek. They're lost. Nobody's going to look for them. They've been on the streets for this long, for however long. Some are new, some are old. But they're meek. They're weak people. They can't figure a way out. It's ironic, though, isn't it?
Explain.
You start something, you find this pleasure in it, even though there's a shit ton of pain that's connected to it, but you still keep coming back for more.
Do you think it's the fantasy that drives you to this, or is the seeing their eyes when they go dead?
Can you say that again, please?
Do you think it's the fantasy that drives you to the next victim and the next victim and the next victim? Is it the fantasy of what you're trying to achieve, or do you truly love that moment of seeing death in their eyes?
Both, because it's very real. It's very intense, but it's not like something you can just go purchase at a grocery store,
Uh-huh.
So I want to know, there was a time where you weren't doing anything and then you did something again. So why did you stop for a while?
Got to be a little bit too intense. I started feeling paranoid. Questions were starting to be asked about my whereabouts, from employers. Why you don't seem sick? Why were you gone? That kind of thing.
And so what kind of job did you have when this first started? I kind of want to get an idea of who you were as a person. Were you a cook? Just a profession. You don't have, I'm not asking you for the address of your employer, but just a profession.
I was delivery driver.
Okay. And did that take you to California? Is that why you went from Phoenix, California?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just like California.
Gotcha.
So what kind of deliveries did you do? I, as a radio person, I kind of do this part-time to make a little extra money. So I go out and do some deliveries with my guy. And I'm kind of curious, what did you do?
More or less parcel service.
Okay.
Sometimes those medical devices, but mostly just parcel.
Interesting.
Cool.
And how about, is that what you're doing now? Or is that what you were doing at the, when this desire took you over? And I'm going to talk about it as an obsession. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I'm still doing like what was your name of the woman? What's her name?
Me. To? Yeah, this is Rockin' Robin. I am the producer over here.
Oh, okay. Robin, I like you. I do some of that stuff on the side still, but no, I've got a desk job.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, you got a professional white collar kind of job, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the deliveries are kind of to break up the boredom of being in an office all day long, kind of thing.
Being home all day long.
Oh,
I
so
work remote.
You work at home. Okay, Gotcha.
Working from home has always given me an alibi. Like I said earlier, one of my victims was actually ruled a suicide. You testified on that one. But yeah, working from home and being a delivery driver makes it easy for me to get out, quench my thirst, so to speak.
Hi, Beth. How's it going?
We got an important call on line 2. The caller says he's the serial killer. I don't know if he's for real or not, but I believe him.
Director, you're going to want to listen to this.
Now, I know, Robin, you do this, and you've been doing this, and you had
perfect vehicle to do this.
Yeah, I drive a little car that gets good gas mileage because I do deliveries. Do you do that too, or do you drive like the big gas guzzlers? Because I know it's not cost effective. What do you drive?
I drive a small SUV.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I need to get myself one of those too because it helps out with the bigger loads, right?
Well, yeah, it's never pre-planned. It just happens. But having a small SUV just makes things, I guess, easier and more efficient, really.
Now, there's people that are probably just chiming in right now in this conversation. So to recap.
Jeff, and is that your real name?
I'm going to get the tracers to get this call traced.
No.
I mean, because there's a million Jeffs, so if it is, that's right. Wouldn't matter, right?
You may as well just call me Jeff Johnson at this point.
Okay, JJ Jeff Johnson. And again, thank you for calling us because, like I said in the very beginning, I don't know if you were listening to the show, I've never talked with a serial killer. And my obsession is saving lives. And so I want to understand why you do what you do in terms of the power it gives you. You sound like an intimidating figure. You said you're over 6 foot, 300 pounds now. Were you that way when you were 17 when you did the first killing with Teresa and Van Buren in Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay, always been a big guy. I
wasn't 300 pounds, but I was well over 6 foot, yeah.
Gotcha. And you're this white collar job or is it blue collar?
White collar.
Okay. And then you do these drives and deliveries and so forth just to make a couple extra bucks, or is it to get out there and maybe I guess what I'm getting at is this opportunistic with you and these victims because they're prostitutes, or is this because you're literally using the delivery job to kind of get out of the house because you have a wife and kids and that sort of thing?
No, it's strictly by chance. When I'm working, I'm working. That's my mindset.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing gets in the way of that because I've got to pay bills like everybody else.
Well,
But when I'm
Darren,
bored, excuse me?
Jeff, Darren just brought up a good point. I'm kind of curious, and you can tell me to shut up if you want to, but he did mention a wife and family. Do you have people at home?
I do.
So that's probably one of the reasons I get it, because I take care of my mother at home. So I have to get away from home once in a while and go do deliveries outside of this job because I can't be around the craziness at home. Do you have that kind of stuff happening too?
Yeah. It's very loud, chaotic.
And when you talk about, your profession, your job, and all that, is there something about your job that makes you angry towards women, that you feel demasculated? And that's your word. I butchered the word, but again, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I really want to understand you because it helps me. And I truly, genuinely thank you for talking with us about this. This is something that, again, I'm passionate on the other side of law enforcement in terms of these victims. What can I do to protect these victims? Like, why would you pick them? Was there a certain day of the week, a certain dress? Were they all prostitutes? And I know you kind of said yes to that, I believe.
All prostitutes, yes. It's like I said, it's all by happenstance. It's just
opportunistic.
I'll get bored. Just want to go drive.
Let me ask you this. There's 12 victims. Could it be more or less, or is that that number for sure?
12 for sure.
Okay. Have all 12 made, if you will, the newspapers? Are we aware of these 12, or are there some that have never been found because you've dumped them in a garbage bin or something?
There's only been 2 that have been found.
Oh, really? So only 2 have been found.
That's correct.
Okay. Tell me about those 2.
What about them? How did they get found? Or
exactly.
Well, they were a couple of the first ones. Kind of being new to my craft, I suppose. Not really knowing how to take care of things and how to dispose. Things became more advanced as the years went by. The first ones were just kind of dumped on the side of desert roads that you really don't think anybody's going to be going around.
And where were the 2 found at? I mean, specifically?
Apache Junction.
Apache Junction, gotcha. Have you ever had a situation where you went out, you're going to do this, it was happenstance, it was opportunistic, you're going to do it, and for whatever reason, you didn't? Because the reason I ask that is this is all about power, correct?
Correct.
And to have that power of life and death, life over death, maybe even. Have you ever not killed and chose to not kill?
Yeah, there's been a few times. It's been where I find a little bit of compassion. Their stories kind of match up to mine, so I just decide, I'm going to let them run, let them go, but I don't ever stop watching.
Gotcha.
I know who they are, I know where they're at, and I pay attention.
Can you tell me about one that you specifically let live and just kind of talk about what your mindset was regarding her? Is she as vivid in your memory as your first victim, that you're able to tell us her clothing, you're able to tell us the location, the ones that you didn't kill? Because that's also power. You had that power of life over death, godlike.
Right.
So talk about them.
I'll give you one.
Okay, thanks.
Honestly, I can't remember her name. She was very young. She was probably 15 or 16, runaway. Came from Albuquerque. Just the story was tragic. Had to get away from an extremely abusive home and did what she had to do there to get enough money for bus fare to come out here and rode the bus. Just told me the story.
Do you remember?
She was, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you remember her name?
I do. but
And
I
again,
don't want to disclose that.
Even a first name, just her first name, because think about it, there's no way I'm going to find her in the phone book.
Yeah, but you never know if they're listening because I'm always watching.
Gotcha.
We'll call her AJ.
AJ. Okay. Apache Junction. Got it. Fair enough.
There you go.
So tell me about her hard luck story. Is the reason you decided not to kill her, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
She had told me that she grew up, lived amongst a bunch of meth addicts, lots of rape and torture going on within the arena that she lived in, kind of adjacent to the tribe out there.
Native American. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then you get shoved off to another home where it's a bunch of alcoholics, and then you get shoved off to another place where it's just beating after beating, and you just can't take it anymore.
Gotcha.
And I kind of it didn't resonate with me and the drugs and everything, but what resonated with me was just that she was hurt.
Gotcha.
She was beat down, and I felt the same way.
Yeah, I could sense that.
Separate level.
Yeah.
What was the most recent victim that you gave that gift of life?
6 months ago.
Wow, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that one.
Just she's lost to the way the world is today. Can't afford anything. Lost her home, lost her job. Now she's on the streets just trying to set things straight, make her right. So I put her up in a hotel for about a week. My expenses, gave her food, gave her clothing. She could shower, clean up, and try to go on some job interviews.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm curious about that too. I know you were trying to help her, but a lot of times, I mean, were you able to pay cash for that so she wouldn't have a record of who you were, or did you take care of that financial a different way? Because I would be scared to hand someone my credit card and say, "Here, go get yourself a room."
No, cash.
Gotcha.
I considered prepaid Visa cards, but there's always some way to track those.
Now, there's a lot of these hotels along Van Buren. I'm kind of guessing that it's one of those, where you pay by the hour kind of thing. It was that kind of situation, or did you take her to like a really nice place, and get her a nice room for an extended period of time? And
It was a decent place. It wasn't the Ritz, but it was someplace decent where she could actually feel good about herself.
That's very kind of you to do.
And that was in Phoenix?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Wow.
What's the most recent murder?
About 9 months ago.
Okay, so your most recent interaction with a victim, you saved her. You didn't kill her.
Correct.
That's fair? Okay,
fair.
so the one that was 3 months before the one that you saved, I'm going to give you that power. That's on you. You could have taken her life. Am I right?
Sure.
And you had the power. Did that allow you for this 6 month respite and without offending and without being driven? Did that power satisfy you in saving her life, if you will?
Yeah, because it's the same power or authority that I have now is watching. Is she going to screw up? Is she going to take me for granted?
So you kind of been checking her out and seeing where she's up to. She's no longer on the street corner, that kind of thing?
So far, so good, yep.
Gotcha.
So if she does disappoint and falls back on that, what is going to happen? I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Well, I don't know. Just time will tell. You have to see how it goes. Maybe someday I just give all this up. Who knows?
Okay, so it's no plan of retribution. It's just if she fails. I mean, if she fails, she's going to fail, right? We can't predict how people are going to be.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool that you actually gave her a fighting chance in life.
Well, I don't see it that way, but
gotcha.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you know what I mean.
Sure.
And we're talking about this power of death, and now we're talking about power of life. You allowed this one to live. And maybe that has sustained you for 6 months because the last victim died 9 months ago and you haven't reoffended. And when we talk about this club, has it always been a club? Or have you, God, I hate to use the word torture, but have you, do you get off on that? Seeing them in pain, that sort of thing?
No, I want it quick and easy. I want it fast.
Oh, so basically from what I'm seeing is you want them out of their misery quickly. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's never been by my hands. I'll never use my hands. It's always an instrument, whether I've got something in my vehicle with me or if I see something on the side of the road.
And fast in my head would be a gun, that a gun to the head, boom, they're done. To me, clubbing would be almost torturous. So like the last victim, now that you've gone through this 27-year odyssey, the most recent victim that you did kill 9 months ago, did you use a club on her, a knife, or was it more painless and it was a gun or something that was fast?
No, firearms have never been my thing. I saw someone get murdered when I was really young with a firearm, and it was just too loud.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
No, last one was a hammer that I had in my toolkit.
Gotcha.
One swift blow, real hard, does the job.
Have you ever tortured one? Because the hammer to me could be painful. Have you ever played with them?
No.
In the sense of decide not to kill, but stalk or kidnap and hold out, that sort of thing.
Never tortured. No,
Okay.
No, that's not me. That's not my style.
Gotcha.
But I have pulled up and said, "Hey, you remember me?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Really?
Yep. How you doing? I'm okay. Great. Be good.
And this is
off I
always
go.
the Van Buren area of Phoenix that you kind of have your prey, for lack of a better word.
Correct.
I'm curious about something. I know when I venture out and I look around the area, especially I try to stay closer to home because, gas mileage when I'm doing deliveries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you venture far away from home to go to these places to see these women? Or, is that like something close to home? Because with me, I like to drive a lot. I like to get, so to say, get the hell out of Dodge and get away from the old lady complaining all the time. So, is that something you do? Do you drive far away, or is this like in your backyard?
Never my backyard.
Okay, so you do drive a little far away to get away. Because I know the further I get away from my mom all the time, it's so much better for me to get further away. So I was kind of curious because I know that you said you got some crazy stuff going on at home. I'm sure, I don't know if you live with your mom or your wife and kids or what's going on, but I can sense that, there's that aggravation. I got to get the hell out of here and go do something.
Yeah, I go a good about. I from Central and South Phoenix. I live probably about an hour and a half northeast.
Very cool. I don't blame you. I got to get the hell away from the noise. So, I know. I don't know. Do you have a naggy mom at home? It's like mine, where she's a pain in the ass. I'm old enough. I'm taking care of the elders now, but still, you know how hard that is, or do you know, or is it just home life that drives you nuts?
Just home life.
Yeah.
Just home life.
Yeah. So I know this is going to sound weird just because I'm a woman and I'm curious, because I've had male friends who've frequented prostitutes because they're not getting taken care of at home.
It's the oldest profession.
Is that
right?
kind of what's happening at home? You're not getting taken care of?
No, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I get taken care of.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love the idea that, and talk about power, right? This is about power, about being demasculated. Is there a victim out there that you killed that it kind of haunts you in the sense that the family, talk about parents and relatives and loved ones, that may be hurting because she's missing, where we could maybe get a name and know that, they would be able to say, my little Tina is, I can now move forward, move on, bury her. Is there someone out there that you would want to give that to that family? Because I love how you saved Teresa's life. You saved her life. You did. You had that power, and you took that power, and I love that.
You have compassion.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You do.
So, please.
Yeah, I'll give you a name. Gosh. I don't know, I'm kind of reluctant to say it.
And I understand, but this is for their family.
Yeah, because we don't know who you are. So, I mean, there's no tie. It's just to give a sense of relief that she's been found.
We'll call her, her name's Bridget.
Her name is Bridget. Okay. Tell me about Bridget. So, was it in Phoenix? Is she a prostitute, not a prostitute? Can you talk a little bit about Bridget, the location, so that where she could be found, so that the family can give her a proper Christian burial?
Phoenix, prostitute, all of them are.
And what year was this?
I'm sorry?
What year was this?
This would have been 2018.
Gotcha. Bridget in 2018, missing. I can reach out to my audience and maybe we can find the family. And where is she now? Where did you, I hate to use the phrase dump the body, but where would that body be found?
I buried her out on the reservation in Scottsdale.
Buried her on the reservation in Scottsdale. Okay, so just off the 101.
That's correct.
Okay, what would be the side street for the 101? Would it be 101 and,
Chaparral.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Describe her, Bridget.
Funny, smiling, cute, smart. Very sad though. And she said she feels like she made the wrong decision to leave the way she did. Her parents loved her, and she felt like they had too tight of a leash on her, but in reality they didn't. And she should have gone home. She
Gotcha.
should have gone home.
Gotcha. What nationality was she?
American, white.
Okay, Caucasian, white. Okay. Color of hair. I mean, is she as vivid to you as your first one? Could you describe her, for example, as much as you could describe the first one?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
Pale complexion. But she was quick. She was fast. She was very fast.
What'd you kill her with?
A hammer.
Also a hammer.
Yeah, she didn't even move. She just sat there. Got her knees and sat there. She took it.
Gotcha. So tell me, Jeff, we talked about California. You said you killed one there. That was 2 in one night, which lets me know that you definitely go out to California, right? It was happenstance. Is there any other victims, like we have with Bridget, that is in Arizona, Phoenix specifically, on a reservation? Is there another victim of a body that we could help a family that's in California that you could talk to us about, that we could give that family, peace?
Wow. I wasn't ready to talk about this one yet, but yeah, there's another one. There's one.
Please tell us.
Out in California, just took a small vacation out there, personal time, no family, no friends, just me.
Okay.
And I just, like I said before, it's always just happenstance, just the probability of who's around. And there was a female
and what is her name? Stacy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.
So, and Stacy is dead, and we could tell.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
She's one that survived?
No. This is very recent. This is yesterday.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, this lady that I buried in the beach. She was kind, innocent. I don't think she could hurt anybody. She begged, she pleaded. And for some reason it just kind of flipped a switch in my brain of, man, I don't think I can finish this. There's not many things in my life that I don't finish. I usually go from beginning to end, no matter what the situation is, whether it's bringing the trash down, cleaning my place, taking care of myself, or these things that I find myself doing, this thirst, this need that I have. So I let her live. But with the caveat, the opportunity to be found alive. Now, the hole's not very deep. She is bound. She is gagged. Nobody's going to hear her. She can scream all she wants. The only way she's getting out is she unties herself, which would take a miracle. But if the authorities get there in time, they could probably pull her out alive.
She has enough oxygen to survive for a little while. If you go down to this beach area, when you come down from the parking area, you hang a left instead of a right on the beach. Now, the left is very secluded, very quiet, not a lot of homes lining the cliff faces. The right side has a lot of homes. I had already had a shovel to dig a pit for a bonfire, and that is where she lies right now.
So why did you leave her alive?
The words that were spoken.
You know, letting her live, when I really kind of get down to the brass tacks of things, she kind of looks like a family member. And I helped raise some of the kids in my family, nieces and nephews. Taught them to ride a bike. It really hit that emotional chord in my heart. And I would think back, I would reminisce, I would go back in time And I would think about those days of innocence when they were just children. And the look in her eyes, they were filled with tears, but they were crystal clear. There was no faking it. Obviously not. She's terrified. But there were no lies being told to me, like, I won't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. And those are the lies that people say to get out of whatever situation they're in. They'll do anything to get out of things. Anything. But when I look back at those family members that she's reminded me of, none of those kids would ever say those things. They never say, I'll do anything to not get in trouble. And so it really took me back. And I thought to myself, what about her? What about if she were to have children? I don't know these things. There could be a brand new baby at home. There could be a whole brood of children for all I know. And I started thinking back again, going, man, how would I feel if my parents didn't come home? How would I feel being innocent at that time? And it really made me wonder, does she feel that? Is she thinking about that? Is she thinking about a loved one, her child? Is she thinking about her job or some dream she never got to accomplish? I mean, hell, we're in Southern California, you know? That's supposedly the land of dreams where they're made in the stars of the Hollywood lights. Or the South Coast beaches where it's love and natural foods and just the environment, ecology.
But you left her alive.
For dead. I mean, you said you don't torture. She's buried alive.
Yeah,
that's torture,
yeah,
buddy.
Times change. Times change.
You know, she's a school teacher, for God's sakes. You know, what are they going to tell those kids? You know, they got this substitute walking in the door and you know, sorry children, Mrs. Jones isn't going to be here ever. And, you know, you got to think about what are their brains going to do? What are their minds going to do? These are kids that are forming right now. The human brain isn't fully developed until you're in your 20s. So these children are just sponges. So how's it going to affect them? Is it going to make them sway one way or the other? Is it like being an abused child? Do you have to make a choice? I'm going to be good or am I going to be bad? Am I going to follow down the footsteps of being molested, or am I going to be a savior? Not a savior, but a saver of children. Am I going to protect them, or am I going to hurt them? You know, I don't think I want that on my conscience. I'll take other things. You know, it's not like I haven't done bad things. I'm admitting to it fully. But I don't want that. I don't want to be the one that has shaped these minds into something terrifying like me.
And you also told me that you haven't had a victim in 9 months. The last victim you...
I already had a shovel with to dig a pit for a bonfire. And
turn around.
She lies right now.
So why did you leave her alive?
The words that were spoken.
But you left her alive.
I need the director
I mean,
of
you
California.
said you don't torture. She's buried alive.
You know, with this one, she was a school teacher too, and you know, with Angel, I didn't really get to capture that prize. She's ruled as a suicide. It's like going out and hunting, and you see this amazing, just buck out in the field, and you take your shot, You get it. You do all the field dressing in order to hump this carcass out of the forest, and there's nothing in the end. It's like suddenly being chased by a bear. You got to leave it behind for them to eat, them to take. You know, you can always say, "Oh man, I got this awesome deer or whatever," but in the end, where's the proof? You know, you got to have a photo of it. And I don't have photos of that field dressing. I don't have that prize. You know, and I started thinking about Angel with her being a teacher and this one being a teacher, and I'll be honest, growing up, I didn't have the best experiences in elementary school. I was told things I should never have been told. And I guess there's a bit of deep-seated anger, but I'm not mad at them. They turned it around. Well, Angel did. She turned it around. She went from being a prostitute to being a teacher. I mean, that's a complete 180. But I'm just disappointed that I never got that prize. I never got to hang that proverbial head up on the wall.
Okay, with that in mind, you gave us some instructions. Is there anything else we can, like, how was she buried? Is she in a coffin? Is she in a drum, a barrel? Describe, if you can, where she's at so we can find her. Because thank you for this.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on where this woman is. I love California, and one of the places I like to go is in Encinitas, north of San Diego, south of Carlsbad, dead center. Del Mar, Encinitas, Swami's, same area. And there's a beach called Moonlight. During the day it's very active, but at night, under the moonlight, you can walk the beach in either direction, north or south. If you go north, there's a lot of houses, a lot of beachfront houses. Now they are on a cliffside, so you can't look in their back doors, but you can look up at them. If you go south, walk about, I'd say, 3 football fields, you're going to find a broken surfboard leaning up against the cliff face. And about 5 feet west of there, towards the water, there's going to be some driftwood, a lot of driftwood. And that driftwood is covering a hole. It's pretty well covered. Sand doesn't breathe a lot. It's saturated with water. So there's not a whole lot of oxygen that I can imagine. So there might be some time.
Don't let me die like that. Please,
have some time to go get her. And that's a pretty hefty clue that I'm leaving you. A broken surfboard, driftwood. It's 300 yards. I mean, I'm giving it all to you. So that's what you get. Take it, leave it, do with it what you will. But I would hurry if you want to pull this woman out so she can teach class again and go home to whomever is her loved ones. I would hurry. I would hurry.
Okay, so there's a marker in a sense.
They could find this driftwood, but is it far enough off the water where it wouldn't be, she wouldn't drown?
That's correct.
And is there any other driftwood in the area, or is that the only driftwood?
There was a broken surfboard leaning up against the cliff face that I saw right by it.
Gotcha. And is she injured in any way other than being buried alive? I mean, did you hit her with a hammer? Did you choke her? Is she injured in any way?
No.
Dear God, please God. I just want my mom. I want my mommy. Dad. So, I love you, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't call you back. I'm so sorry.
So if they,
Too scared to move.
how much time do we have to get her?
I'm just gonna check on my time now. Probably within the next 12 to 15 hours, maybe.
12 to 15 hours of oxygen left. Okay.
I'm not a scientist, though. So
I was just going to ask, how do you know about the oxygen? Is there a pipe hole? How did you, if you will, come to that conclusion that she has X amount of air? How are you an expert in this sort of thing?
Oh, no, it's just a guess.
Gotcha. And you said her name. Can you say that name again? I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
Stacy.
Okay, so it is Stacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've said way too much at this point. I got to get out.
I could talk to you for hours. I'll be honest with you, because this is fascinating.
Right.
And thank you. And I mean that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me about the victim before Stacy. Was there also another victim in California?
No, I got to cut this off right now. I gotta run. I gotta go.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your time, people. Appreciate it. Maybe I'll reach out some other time. But
I
right
would
now,
appreciate that.
I gotta go.
I understand. I appreciate it, and thank you.
I've spoken too much. I gotta go. I gotta go. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, folks.
You bet.
Take care and be good.
You too. Okay.
Wow.
Is he off the air? Is he off?
Yeah,
Okay.
call dropped.
Thank you. We are going to suspend this podcast. We are going to be in contact, and we're going to actually, you, the audience, won't even hear this part. We have a 20-minute delay, or 20-second delay. So we're going to abruptly go off and find this girl, and then we're going to find this motherfucker.
Wow.
hear me? Hello? Hello, is that you? Can you hear me? Everybody over here. She's over here somewhere. I hear her.
I can't breathe. I can't. I can't breathe.
Let me tell you guys, good job. The lady in California has been found.